is. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody can hear me. Because I have to wait till my earbuds get charged, I think. Where'd I put them? Oh my gosh, where'd they go? Hello, hello, hello. Just waiting on a few people to come in. This is going to have to be a short live. I do apologize for the delay. Yesterday, I ended up in the ER. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this bruising, and down here where I fell. This is where they thought that I may have. You can see the cut and the bruising a little where they thought I may have broken something. I do apologize, but you know how nobody shows up, nobody calls, nobody comes, nobody is at your house, whatever, until you start to do something. And then the whole world, like literally, I had nobody come and visit me or call me all day until 5:38 p.m. And I had one, two, three, four, five people, various people show up at the house, and my phone hasn't stopped ringing. But I'm not upset about it, and I do apologize to everybody. But I'm just fixing the chat, you guys. Sorry, but you know, I was chatting with some uh, of the sunshines, and it was a good conversation that was needed, and part of why I started my channel. So my apologies on anybody I kept waiting, but I hope you guys understand, because it's a conversation I would have with any of y'all. I do just have some tips, some updates and discussion, and some DIY tips and hacks. My legal pad with all my notes um, that I wanted to go over. It is going to have to be a short live because apparently there's been a wreck or something occur, and I have some family that's out of electricity that's supposed to be here in about 35 minutes. I don't have water, but I got power, so they're coming. But I have some really good hacks and tips for y'all, whether it's crafting, baking, cleaning. I've scoured for like 3 days and kind of picked the best. And just some quick notes on what's going on in the world. Some of the stuff we followed on this channel and some we hadn't. Sorry, I'm just turning the page and putting on my glasses real quick, y'all, so stay with me. The chat, let's see, make sure it's set. Yeah, it's set to all messages now, so everybody should be able to comment. Let's see. Cash Patel has been approved as the head of the FBI. Dan, and I'm going to murder his name, Bonjanu. He's an ex-Secret Service agent and YouTuber that's now pretty much confined to Rumble because YouTube had put him off, is the second in command over the FBI with Cash Patel. Epstein, I'm not supposed to say that. Epi files are supposed to be released. JFK, MLK, we'll see how quick it happens. My sources are telling me that some people are running scared because these two guys aren't going to play any games, and they're not going to accept any half-stepping. So those of you that aren't properly representing or maybe padding your pockets, I'll never understand how somebody sitting on Capitol Hill in Congress or Senate that makes under 200,000 a year, which translates to where I live to under 75,000 a year, can have over 300 million in cash and assets, and it didn't come from their spouse or inheritance. Some splaining to do there, people. Though I've seen some changes in some things, so we'll just see. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. It's not my nature. In my opinion, my opinion is still reserved. I'm waiting to see. I've heard a lot of this I want to see this. I want to see action. I want to see progress. I want to see that. Um, couple things I'm comment on politically, and it's my political views. I think it don't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. To me, I was having a conversation earlier. It's like she said, it's like a bird. You got a left wing and a right wing on the bird, and the bird in the middle. And the left wing and the right wing has to do the same thing and work together. No matter what they call themselves, they just have different agendas, but it's kind of the same horse. It's kind of difference between a donkey and a horse, I reckon. Anyway, I digress. Let's see. Other headlines, right quick. Young Thug got part of his property that had been seized back. Just between the vehicles and the jewelry that belonged to the jeweler and not him that were returned, it's still over $3 million that was returned. That doesn't include the cash and other assets that have yet to be returned that were seized. Yak Gotti, who was found not guilty on all counts, is still in jail because of things that happened while he was locked up erroneously. By the way, if he's convicted of what they're saying, everything that he's accused of, with the 60% rule in Georgia, he's still served 3 months at this point more than he would have to if he's convicted of everything he's still facing time for. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm locked up and you try to take my food that me and my people bought, I'm going to fight to keep it. If you tried to stab me in my sleep, I'm going to fight to defend myself. I mean, shit. And I shouldn't have been there in the first place. Yeah, can you say? Anyway, okay, next. For those of y'all that have been following the Tiffany Henyard saga in Dalton, just FYI, the Democratic primary, not the election, but the primary for the village of Dalton, she's the mayor, and then basically over the smaller community. I've never understood how she had two positions in two separate areas of the same place. But anyway, she lost that primary to Jason House. He had 88% or 87% of the vote. She got 13%, and that was with 14 out of 17 precincts reporting. She had no hope. If everybody else out there voted for her, she still wasn't winning. It also prevents her, she didn't win the primary, so she has no chance unless it's a write-in campaign of being reelected this next election year. Guess she shouldn't have been allegedly stealing all that money to get her hair and clothes done and pay for her boyfriend. Anyway, so next, just a side note, those of you that know The View and Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, allegedly ABC sent a memo, and this was actually said on The View. ABC sent a memo to View co-hosts asking them to lay off Trump, allegedly. And allegedly, Whoopi Goldberg was suspended for comments that she made about the Holocaust. I missed that. Not too sorry about it either, to be honest with you. I don't regularly watch it. Okay, let's see. Did I? Oh, yeah, okay. For those of you that have been following, and I'll probably butcher her name, Onijah Robinson, the American woman that went to meet the 18, 19-year-old boy, the 33-year-old woman that went to Pakistan, and they ended up treating her like a queen. All I got to say, first of all, bless y'all's hearts and thank you, because y'all got way more patience than we'd have had here in America, especially New York, where she's from. They done cursed her out and threw her in a jailhouse. I'm going to tell you, y'all had the patience of Job, and if you ain't watched it, that's where I got the saying is, it's against my religion to tell you my business. God love her. She finally decided to take a plane ride back to New York that was paid for by the Pakistani folks. It had a layover in Dubai. Uh, at this point, she's detained. There is no mugshot. There is no proof that she's been arrested or anything else. She did not make it back on the flight. She did not show up in New York. She didn't make it for her meet and greets. And there's a video of her in Dubai during the layover smoking a cigarette and allegedly threatening to burn a gentleman that seems to be a resident of Dubai with that cigarette. FAFO in Dubai. If you don't know, you better find out. Uh, if the princess ends up locked up for years, and that's one of them, uh, do you honestly think that just some rando from another country is going to come over and tell people what to do? You don't do that. Pakistan was very tolerant. They clothed you, they did your nails, they did your face, they did your hair, they bought you shoes, they fed you, they had an advocate giving you a home and making sure that nothing happened to you and that you were okay. That was a blessing. That was the man upstairs answering all the prayers and taking care of you. You went somewhere to where even women from another country will find out. Several Americans, as Floyd Mayweather, have around and found out in Dubai. You don't. There's certain areas you just can't play. In other countries, you can't. They're not going to let you. Anyway, uh, allegedly, there are reports that are unproven that due to that, she is facing up to 5 years in jail for threatening to burn someone with a cigarette. Um, what I understand is there is an American woman that has some pictures and it said she was on the plane, that plainclothes police officers removed Onaja for the safety of the rest of the people on the plane shortly after the cigarette incident. That's why people are assuming that's what it's about. It may or may not be. There are other reports saying that she missed her connecting flight and that's why she's being held. At this point, her social media has all gone quiet. No one has heard from her. Um, the reports of her son saying that she had mental health issues, it has been proven that that was not her son, that that was fake. So at this point, we're kind of just in a wait and hold mode. Prayers for her going out. But as Ron White said in a stand-up blue collar comedy tour, I believe it was The Rides Again, ignorance of the law was no defense. I've heard that told to somebody in court as well. Okay, let's see. One thing, two comments before I get into the DIY and get that out and say goodnight. First comment. Social Security checks and the reports. Here's my question. We're beyond saying you shouldn't have went to this info and that info. It's happened, right? We can't put the stuff back in Pandora's box, per se. That being said, reports have came out that college students allegedly doing a report during Biden's administration were allowed access to those files as well as others. And they were not hired and they were not elected either. And we wasn't even told about it until now. So whether it's true or not, I don't know. They all do some crappy shit once they get certain height politically. And it's whatever's best for them. And screw us. Peons. My personal opinion. Allegedly. No, it ain't alleged. It is my damn opinion. And it's my First Amendment right to have that opinion. Unfortunately or fortunately, whoever and however you're looking at it. Now, what I was going to say is, you want to prove something to me and every American out here? Every person that is 110 years old or older that is currently or has been within the past 5 years receiving, or we'll do 4 years, we'll do during the last administration, that has been receiving a Social Security check that is 110 and 10 years of age or older, tell us what addresses they're going to. If it's somebody's really up to something, they're all going to go to the same address or the same bank account eventually. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out that 9 out of 10 of them went to an offshore bank account? Then you're proving something to me. Let's find out, where are those checks going? Where did that money go? Because I think we all know what U.S. aid was about. And listen, I don't care what kind of opera or play or Sesame Street show it was. Ain't no opera, even in another country, that cost $15 million. Just like all the way back to the Carter administration and Reagan days and Clinton era. Information came out, we were paying like $600 for a screw and a bolt, $1,500 for a hammer. Why do y'all think that was? When the FBI, CIA, HHS, whoever sends someone overseas and they got to pay $5,000 to get these secrets, or live this lifestyle at F Island, somebody's paying for that. That money don't come out of clear air. Nobody craps it in their toilet. They have to pay for it. And they can't just put on a piece of paper $20 million to the CIA's budget this year. Come on now. Let's put our thinking caps on. I think that's a lot of it. In other words, I'm saying it's a slush fund for covert operations, for those false flags that we run, for the real flags that we run, whatever. Somebody's got to pay for it somewhere, and it's not spelled out in our budget. Am I saying it's right or wrong? Oh, hell no. I'm telling you, I don't believe for an instant that it cost $15 million to put on an opera. I don't care what it was about. I don't care if it's about how to properly clean diabetic toenails, okay? The substance isn't what's important. The fact is that it was in another country and that we're paying that for it. When, here's my thing, we're sending $59 million to New York to pay for $700 a night rooms for people that aren't U.S. citizens, that didn't get invited to come here. We didn't bring them here. I didn't bring them here. You probably didn't bring them here. It's nothing personal. It's the system that our government has set up to cause animosity and strife between us. Because if we're arguing with each other, we're not paying attention to what the hell they're doing. In my opinion. That being said, while you have people from Florida to the Tennessee mountains, I damn well know from the North Carolina foothills to the Tennessee foothills, you got people still living in tents that you're taking their kids and they're freezing to death and they're starving to death, and you gave them $750 fucking dollars for their life, and you're sending almost that much a night to put a roof over somebody's head that doesn't live here, to people that's lived here since generations, probably since the country started. When are you going to put more stock in your citizens and do more for your own citizens than you do for people that don't live here? I'm not just talking about migrants. I'm talking about the fact they're sending more money out of this country than they put into it. Show me what business can succeed that way. Please tell me. Anybody. I don't care if you own a country store. Can you put more money in Walmart than you put into your store and expect it to succeed? Is it not eventually going to fail? It's a discussion. It's not, my opinion is not the end all. I want to know what y'all think and how you feel. The same thing, what's going to happen when we go to Fort Knox in Kentucky? 1972 or 73, I didn't write it down and I apologize, was the last year that anybody other than those that control Fort Knox have seen the gold that's supposed to be in the reserve. Why can't we see it? Isn't it? Aren't we supposed to be the owners? Isn't that part of what America was built on? Why are we still paying for Great Britain's defense and military? Didn't we leave Great Britain to start the U.S.? These are just questions on my mind. I'm open to answers. These are what myself and other Americans out here are wondering. This is why we're tired. This is why Trump is president. This is why Kamala lost. This is why that there's everything as it is right now. We're fed up. We're tired of being treated like mushrooms. We're tired of being kept in the dark and fed full of shit. Why are so many students graduating that can't read and write? Why, over the years, with all the money that we're putting into everything, is our population getting dumber and dumber? It's not an accident, in my opinion. Okay, I'm off the soapbox and I'm going to quit preaching because I really do want to get some DIYs out there. One that I didn't write down, I don't think. So I'll kind of start off with cooking with parchment paper. Don't you hate trying to fit it in the casserole dish and it just won't stay? It keeps flopping out. Here's a tip for you. It's parched. Take it over to the spigot. Put a few drops of water on it like you're trying to get a damp paper towel. Wring it out. Push it out. Put it in there. It'll lay right in there. It won't affect how you bake. It'll actually, personally, my stuff turned out a little better, especially with the moisture factor if I wanted something extra moist. Okay, and let's see. Oh yeah. And if you're trying to I'm trying to think of the word. Your herbs and stuff, the ones that you have real, if you're trying to de-stem them, get your big cheese grater, take the pretty much biggest hole, put your hand on the inside, pull that sucker in like, through from the stem to the tip. You'll find your leaves laying there. It's better than any of the highfalutin things you can go out there and buy. It works better in my opinion. Just something. Parmesan cheese, plastic bottles, the little lids that flap up, pop them right off, clean the bottle out, put that top back on where it's got the bigger holes here in the open side. If you're doing paint, watercolors, especially with one of the babies or the grandbabies, they're perfect to store your brushes in, brush side up, or to also rinse them out and reuse them. You'd be amazed at how cheap it is and how great it works. Let's see. I use it, as I said, for my watercolor. Let's see. One with round holes. Yep, okay. And let's see. The little square plastic bread ties, and I had one laid out, and I don't know where I laid it to show y'all. Those are awesome to use. I'll show you. I had a demonstration to show, and I apologize because I can't find the tie. But I hate this kind of roll of tape right here. If you have one of those ties, when you find the end, and as you can see, I'll probably be through with the episode before I find the end. Find the end of the tape where it's stuck, and any of the clear that's on a roll without a roller thing to tear it is the worst. Thank you guys for the hearts. I don't know how to do anything else. Thank you. I love y'all too. Put the little peel it up, put your little plastic square bread tie thing on this. Zips right up. You'll never have 20 hours of trying to find where the tape starts again. Promise you it works. It's at Christmas time with the Scotch tape. It's a lifesaver. Okay. Next. When you're crafting with acrylic, tempera, or watercolor, and you get it dried in the brush, Pull out some just old school regular old plastic wrap. Lay your brush on it. Use your, and I don't want to show the brand name, so I'm going to turn it this way and cover it. Hand sanitizer. Squirt it liberally over those bristles. Wrap that job up. Smush it around. Open it back up. Take a fine tooth comb. Comb those bristles out. Rinse them. I swear to you, this stuff melts it like butter in an oven. You'll be surprised. Hand sanitizer. Anything that calls for rubbing alcohol. Especially if you want something a little on the thicker side. Thank you for the faces and the hearts, you guys. Oh, it's my first time ever. I'm going to cry. This stuff works awesome. In lieu of alcohol. It's 99% alcohol. So just remember, because we all have a stock of this from the fungulitis. 9 out of 10 anyway. Let's see. Where are we at? You comb, rinse. Yeah, your brush will be like new. I don't know about anything other than watercolor, tempera, and acrylic paints for that to work on. I'm not trying to tell y'all falsehoods. Okay. And let me tell you, all this stuff I have tried and made sure that it worked over the past few days. Okay. To remove price tags and labels from glass and plastic items. Like, if I want to take this label off of this, and I tried it for some glass things that I'm trying, I'll be talking about that in a future episode of how you can heat the wire around glass bottles and actually make cups and glasses cheap and free with heat. You'll need like a torch thing that I don't have yet, but it's just like a lighter torch. And anyway, take your blow dryer and heat this up. It's got glue. And when you heat it up with the blow dryer on this, the glue releases. Peel it off. Take your hand sanitizer. Clear the remnants. And you're good to go. Just so you know. And I did try it. Oh, I had been trying to get it off these little bitty bottles that had moonshine shots with the lids, it looked like miniature mason jars. I had scrubbed, I had washed, I'd done everything. I took the darn hair dryer and a case knife. I was so mad at myself. I'd probably tried for 3 months to get them labels off and scrubbed and nothing helped. Hair dryer, a case knife, and 10 minutes. I was ready to kick my own arse. Thank y'all for the hearts. Oh, love y'all. Okay, let's see. Put sanitizer on it, rub, set. Let the sanitizer set for a few moments, and the glue residuals will come right off. Okay, next. To remove highlighter from used books, whether you're going to college and you buy your used textbooks, or you go to a thrift store, whatever, and somebody's put highlights in it. Hey, Miss Justice, love you. To remove the highlighter from the books, and then I wanted to show you. I had a highlighter out. I'm gonna put it right here. Gotcha. Okay. So there's 2 kinds of highlighters. There's the standard kind, and then there's this kind that's newer, that's this waxy kind. This will not work with the one that's kind of like a crayon wax, but it will work with the highlighters that are water and alcohol based. That's important. To remove it from used books, you put a few drops of lemon juice on the paper directly where the highlighter's applied. Rub it in, let it dry, and poof, the highlighter is gone. Okay, and it does work. I tried it for my cousin. We did it for her textbooks because she highlighted and she got more for them when she sold them back to the college bookstore. It really works. I was surprised. Wish I'd have known it 20 years ago. Hello. I'm trying to roll. It's the 3rd time I've lit this. These are the roll-ups. $1.99 for 200 of the tubes. And $5 for enough tobacco to roll all 200 tubes. A month's worth of cigarettes for less than $10. And they taste horrible, and it's helping me quit. Okay, next. To remove permanent marker from your dry erase board, take your dry erase marker and thoroughly cover Like, block it out like you're doing blackout. Wait like 45 seconds. Take a cloth and wipe it off. And be amazed that you were able to remove the permanent marker. It works. It works. It works. It works. I'm shocked, but it does work. Okay, next. Let's see. Oh, if you have wooden beads, I know it works well on those. Semi well on glass beads. The textured beads are better than the slick glass. But if you have beads that you want to paint, especially the wooden ones, there's a lot of them on the strings, the little fringe hanging to decorate. Anyway, any wooden beads, get you like a mason jar or an old jelly jar that you have the lid for. Put the beads that you want all the same color. You don't want, if you want, say white. Put all the beads you want white. Put them in a jar. Squirt about a nickel size of white paint in there. Put the lid on. Shake it up. Good to go. You just take them, put them in a towel, rub them off a little bit, and you'd be surprised. You ain't got to sit there forever with a thing. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Cutting just pulled up, you guys. Oh my Lord, what did I do? What did I do? Okay. Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Okay, guys, real quick. Let me mark to where I'm at. We'll finish this tomorrow. I've got to let them in. Here's what I want to say real quick. Good news. Pray that everything stays good. I have sold the house. Closing date's April the 3rd. I'm hoping that I can sell either the air conditioner, the heater, or the furniture set in the next 36 hours, because if by 9 a.m. I can reserve my U-Haul, I will save like $200. I only got to make $42.50 more, and I'm not giving up. And closing day is April the 3rd, so I have to have everything out and moved by then. But it is a blessing. So, it's pretty much it on that one. Let's see. People's at my door. Oh, God. Okay. Let me tell you this right quick. Paint, glue, and toothpaste, etc. in a tube. Cut the bottom off. Squeeze out what you need. Store the remaining amount in and tube in a Ziploc bag. And until the tube is almost empty. There's something else that I was supposed to say with that one. Once you cut the bottom off, though, you have access to scoop it off and everything. I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow. I don't want to give y'all a time because every time I do, the whole world comes through. I wanted to let everybody know that I am doing okay. Currently don't have water, but better than most circumstances. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. I'm going to kill people. I'm coming. Peace, love, and light. And I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.